Hi, class. All right, this is our last lesson before the final tests. There'll be two, right? There'll be a Unit 2 post-test, and then there'll be the final test of the overall course, which they promise me will have omitted the Unit 3 on research. But if you come across questions that are about the research paper or about citing citations on that final test, let me know, because the Edmentum people tell me that since I omitted that last unit, that those questions will be omitted from the final exam as well. All right, but let's do this one. This is the writing and editing an informational text, right? And this one is very much about how you use your English language skills, your diction and syntax skills, right? So this activity will help you meet these goals. You will edit an informational text draft using standard English conventions, right? And when we talk about standard English conventions, that means the conventions of the English that is spoken in the educational world, right? In higher education, usually on television newscasts. It's not the same English that a lot of us speak more informally. It's the more formal English that you're looking for, the academic one, right? So leaving out gonnas and writing going to. That's standard English. I actually had a professor once that wouldn't take a contraction, right? So to get really standard, you write things like do not and cannot instead of can't and don't. I won't go there with you. You can use contractions. Including a variety of complete controlled sentences, right? So we're going to be looking for you to do sentence variety. They gave you some ideas here in this revise, edit, and publish section around different types of sentences, and avoidance of unintentional comma splices, putting the comma in the wrong place, run-ons, going on too long, and fragments, right? So again, if you need some more knowledge about sentences, go over this section, revise, edit, and publish, and really take your time with that. Or come to class on Monday and I'll teach you. Nobody came today at all. Not one person in Google Meet. You guys, they're paying me for this. All right. But most of you aren't watching the videos either. I put them on YouTube so I could check views, and I'm only getting 1 or 2 views, but I'll make them anyway if somebody might want them. All right, so you're going to be looking for those comma splices, the run-ons and fragments, and then publish your work for an appropriate audience. And when we talk about publishing our work, these days you have the entire universe at your disposal. If you have an Instagram page or a Facebook page, you can publish your writing easily. People do it every day. All right, so read the instructions for this self-checked activity. Type in your response to each question and check your answers. At the end of the activity, write a brief evaluation of your work. Right, so just a first question here is just to see, did you understand what these 3 terms meant? Can you identify them here, right? And if you submit it, it'll give you more than one chance. You can try again. It'll explain what's wrong. But give it a try. I want to see if you got that. If you want to make sure you've done this first, do. They go over it in this section. All right. The second thing is to type or copy and paste your revised informational text draft in the student response box and then read it aloud. This is a trick that most people don't do, but when you're trying to find your mistakes, it's really good to read it out loud. You can hear it sometimes in ways that you can't see it. Another trick that I learned is to actually read from the bottom up. So you read the last full sentence and then the next to last and then the next to last. Reading it out of order like that can sometimes help you notice the errors in the actual sentences, spelling errors, comma splices, run-ons, things like that. So as you read, edit, and use the standard English conventions. They give you this revising and editing checklist. It looks like this for you to really think about the way that the sentences work together. And 15 minutes or so revising and editing your draft. Again, I will advise that one thing to do is to come into your Google Drive and go down and create yourself a Google Doc. The other thing you could do here, you could create a Google Doc and you can share it with me before you turn it in, before you submit here. If you want some expert support on those editing tools, I have been trained. I am an expert. You just create your document, right? Write whatever you want in here, and then you go to share, and you share it with me, skingfor@schools.nyc.gov. then I will get the same document. I'll be able to write on it, and you'll be able to write on it. And then before you take it and put the copy and paste into this box, you can have it exactly the way you want. All right. So that's what I would love to see people use me and let me do some editing for you. I'll work through the weekend even if I'm available. Where could you publish your informational text to reach your intended audience? Consider school-wide, local, regional publications, newspapers, magazines, journals, and online options, right? What are the possibilities, and where would you want to publish this? Let's say you're writing something about, you're a skateboard enthusiast and you're writing about a particular kind of skateboard or a particular kind of technique. Well, who would want to read that, right? Probably find an online publication that's directly aimed at skateboarders. They're the ones that are going to want to read it. If it's some other informational thing that you're an expert on, again, like the niche, and you might know that, right? Maybe it's about a video game. I know nothing about those sorts of things, so I wouldn't know where online to go. So you might put where your possibility is here. And then how did you do, right? So in this box, I'll be really looking for an actual bit of an essay, right? So you've written at 1,500 words is quite a lot, or 15,000 words is quite a lot. You could write quite a lot here. And I'm also looking for where you would publish this. Okay. Finally, the summary is you've worked on informational text, which is a kind of writing that has a thesis and evidence and examples. You've worked on the writing process, right, where you've actually gone through looking at it more than once. And revised to look for more clarity and to edit to get the sentences right. Like you've really done some writing process here. All right. That's what I'll be looking for. And then you'll take the unit test for that, or the mastery test for that. And then I've omitted this unit activity. You'll do your post test. Notice I've also omitted the entire third unit, which was on research and inquiry, and there is an end of semester test that I will open as soon as you're finished with everything else. Okay, so text me if you need something, and good luck.